What's up, y'all? It's your girl Olivia, and I'm here with a quick video. I gotta have my wine to get me started. Okay, it's the weekend. So, what I wanted to talk about today is ghosting. And majority of us are familiar with ghosting. I'll just run down the definition real quick. If you're communicating with someone and then all of a sudden that person just drops off the face of the earth, basically, without giving any type of explanation, that's what ghosting is. So basically, I was thinking about ghosting in my own life. And of course, like a lot of us have been ghosted before, or we've ghosted someone else. Majority of people have experienced this. And my thought process is like, I think that there's a better way that we can go about this, that would just make men and women feel positively or feel better about things that don't work out or end, because there's someone who's actually saying to them, hey, I've decided to pursue other things, essentially. So how this all came up was I ended up meeting a guy. And he approached me, and he seemed like a cool dude or whatever. I gave him my telephone number, and we had a phone conversation. And as soon as we kind of like started talking, like literally, y'all, it was in like the first like couple of minutes. Like I knew immediately that he wasn't someone that I was going to want to pursue, like in terms of continuing to talk to him. And so I have another video, Entertain What You Want. Check that out too, because I think it is really important to only entertain the people that you see that there's some type of compatibility with, or you see that there could be something, worthwhile of getting to know this person. So anyway, within the first conversation, he was telling me a few things, like how he was single, how he didn't have like any prospects and everything like that, and also that he was intentionally dating for marriage, which I think that is really awesome that he was able to say that to me, like, I'm dating for marriage, this is what I want. I love the fact when people can say what they want. Now, do I just initially tell people I'm dating for marriage? Not necessarily, because I think I kind of like the whole part of just getting to know someone, and then organically, like, obviously those things come up, but however you do it is how you do it. So anyway, met him, started talking to him, realized, like I said, fairly like quickly on, that this wasn't something that I wanted to pursue. But he was so nice. Like, he was complimenting me. Like, he just was a gentleman. He was reaching out to me. He was good in terms of communication and everything. So I just said to myself, how would I want to be treated in this situation? And so I think it's like, how do you want to be treated by someone when that person decides that they don't want to pursue anything with you? Like, do you want that person to actually say something to you, to actually tell you, or do you just want to be left in the dark? Like, I don't know, James just went missing, or Peter just went missing, or whatever the name. I don't know why I picked those names, but anyway. So I decided that the way I want to be treated is that I would prefer for a guy to say to me, hey, I'm no longer interested in pursuing you, so I don't have to try to figure stuff out. Like, I remember one time I was talking to this guy, and all of a sudden his communication got really different. And this is not to speak negatively on men, because guys, I know you guys have had similar experiences as well. So basically his communication changed, and we had been going out on a regular. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I noticed that like things kind of like switched gears. I just wanted to check in on you, like, and see how you were doing or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, actually, I have decided to focus on self-care and put dating to the side right now. And my whole thing with that was, I appreciated him, number one, for telling me that he was focusing on his self-care. The other thing, though, the issue that I had was, why did I have to pry that out of him? Like, why did I literally have to send this grown man that has, that's intellectual, well-spoken, appeared to be a good communicator? Why did I need to make that first step and say to him, hey, well, what's going on? So anyway, he told me, I was like, cool. I was like, bet, best wishes. A month later, he reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to go like hang out somewhere? Well, my answer was immediately no, because my thing is like, number one, if you need to prioritize self-care, it's probably going to be longer than a month's time that you need to be focusing on that. The other thing is, you were not able to verbalize that to me without me asking you what the situation was. I want someone to just upfront tell me. We don't want to have to question someone like, hey, what is it? What is this? What is that? Like, people just be honest and just say like how you feel. So anyway, back to my initial story with the gentleman that I most recently met. So what I decided to do was, by the time he was like texting me with the good morning stuff and like, how's my day going? I'm like, okay, I know I don't like him like that. Cause you know, when you get that good morning message from someone and you're not really feeling them, you just like, him kind of thing. So I sent him a message, and the message that I sent him was that, number one, I was so grateful for having the opportunity to meet him. I was like, you know, you seem like a really, really nice guy. I love how intentional you are, how direct you are about what you want. But at this point in time, I'm deciding that I'm really like focusing on my career. I'm not like, I don't have enough time to put towards dating, which, if I'm being honest, if I met the right person, I would be able to put time into that. But I wanted to tell him something that, number one, was empathetic to his feelings and how he would receive it. And I wanted to leave it on a positive note. Like, I didn't want to be negative. So if you decide that you don't want to talk to someone, you don't have to send them a message and say, hey, I don't like you because of this, 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 and this. Now, sometimes you may want to tell them, like, if he was someone that I had been dating and we'd gone out on active dates over time, I would have said specifically, hey, this is an issue for me, and this is kind of like a deal breaker for me, or this isn't something that I can deal with. But because I didn't know him that well, I wanted to tell him something that I felt like would resonate with him, that he would be able to easily process, and we would just be able to move on. So that's exactly what I did. And he messaged me back and he just said, thank you. And it made me feel so much better, because then it wasn't like this thing of like me just ignoring this guy's calls. Now, I do think there are times when people ignore folks' calls, you know, but I think that we just need to stop. Number one, like, we don't have to give our number out to people that we know we're not really interested in. Because when I initially saw him, I was kind of like, I don't know. So I guess I did need to have that first conversation to really solidify whether there was any interest in this person. But if you know right off the bat, don't give your number to men that you're not interested in. Same thing, guys, like, don't, pursue or act like you're interested in a woman when you're really not, interested in her. So basically, the moral of the story is, I just think that if we all have more open communication, like, our interactions in terms of dating will be a lot more positive. Let me know. What do y'all think? Like, do you let people know when you don't have an interest in them anymore? Or are you just out here ghosting people? Don't ghost those people, They over here wondering, like, what happened to Susan? Where is she? Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and I have all kinds of other content on relationships, lifestyle, overall purpose. Check it out.